Again, sorry I haven't been getting any videos out most of the summer. Some medical things going on and some recent medical changes or some medicine changes before some procedures coming up. And I'm a last handful of days have been able to do some work. And so what we got now is I got a 2016 F250. And I'm getting rid of the 2008 F350 that you've probably seen on a lot of videos. And I'm lucky because the 2008 that's sitting over there and the 2016 use the exact same Boss snowplow mounts. I think I'll crop that over the screen. So it just happened to be a lucky, part, but it was just an extra bonus. This is the truck I wanted. You'll see it more coming up. But what I'm having to do now, where I got the bumper off, you got the two brackets that hold on the front bumper here. You can get straight into them, get those two nuts off, 24 millimeter, I believe. Then these side ones were, I believe, 14s. Get that. Now, one thing that was different in the 2008, so this may be just useful if you're taking the snowplow off of a 2008. This may be useful some because a little bit of differences. It's useful if you're switching the plow mount from a 2008 F350 to a 2016 F250. But also if you're trying to put the mount on a 2016 and you bought it, it's going to be the same one I'm looking at over here. But one thing that was different was you got the fog lights or the running lights that would be about here in the bumper on each side. Now in the 2008, the wiring harness comes into this light and then it branches off of that and runs over to the other one. So you've got to get this disconnected here to get the bumper off. But here, there's a harness that comes down to the center, like a Deutsch type plug in the center down below here. And then that disconnects both sides with the bumper. So you only have one plug there to do that. The only thing that was different in 2008, this air dam, somebody had actually wire tied this. So it's been taken out before. I don't know if it's a new bumper or what, but I'll put that back in, use the regular clips in it. But so what I'm having to do here, one of the early steps is get this bracket off. That's here, 14 millimeter. You got brackets on the inside of the frame, held on with the two nuts on the outside. And here, this one's in place. Now it just happens I can't get the impact gun on that one back here without doing something to this, and I'm just going to get the ratcheting socket. So we get these out of the way and we'll go through the steps. Alright, so starting underneath, this is the sway bar. Going all the way across, these are the sway bar brackets here. So these are going to come off. These are a 16 millimeter, and on the driver's side, inside of the frame rail, got to disconnect this. Boom, that easy, because we're going to need that hole. All these holes, really. That's got to be loose. So here's the plug I was telling about right in the center. If you do unhook that, that has both fog lights undone. And then we have part of the oil cooler here. Got to release those because the Boss mount is going to go in between the frame rail and this mount. You're going to sandwich it again with this on the outside. But this is a 13 millimeter, I believe. There should be, yes, one up in there as well. Oh, no, looks like there's two more actually, so no big deal. Got to get these out of the way first. Alright, so the driver's side is on. I just got to go back and re-torque everything, but I had to use a screwdriver in this hole and a couple of them to actually get this thing kind of moved right, twisted, and get the holes to line up, plus using the jack under this to make it move up if I needed. Then let go and all kinds of things just to get the holes to line up. Now, I'm actually using the other pieces that were already factory OEM and not the Boss pieces, so I'm using the bridge block with those connections there and using those. The rest of them are from the old mount, but the hardest one to get to, see if I can get a little bit of light up in there, but you can see the end of the wrench. So there is a 24 millimeter up there, way up in there. Now I can get my forearm up in there to get the nut started and all that, but to get it held while you're doing stuff as a bear. So let me loosen that, get it off. So this is a long 24. Yeah, you really can't see up in there, but it's on. We'll go back and torque things. Actually, I have to do that again. That back one's torqued, but we'll go on to the passenger side. All right, so I'm on the passenger side, and this is the cooler line that's attached to the frame rail here. 3 13mm bolts in it. Front one was easy. This one right here was not too bad, but there's just not a lot of swinging room, so it's a lot of short stroke movement on it. And I could have got my other angle thing there, probably got a little bit faster, but the one that's being a bear is up on the top of this. I'm going to have to push back the radiator hose and kind of assembled a long with a swivel with a deep socket. Now you don't need the deep socket because of the nut, because the head is just there on this side, but I need to get it to hold it in place, pushing against the radiator hose, the lower radiator hose, while I get it on there. So I'm going to give this a shot. It's really a little bit of a pain, but not the worst pains we've ever seen. All right, to give you an idea of really kind of what has worked well with this is I try to get these up as close as I can. We use a jack just to actually support it at first. It's really just to hold it up in place. This needs to pivot onto the mount studs right here. I find when I push up hard enough on this, getting it over the sway bar bushing there, then I just get enough where I can get about 3 or 4 threads on, and I'm leaving it there so that we can pivot. So then, let me scoot out of here for a second. At least there's a lot more room under this F250 here. So you can see it being held there, the weight on it. Then the next thing we'll do is get these holes lined up. You can see where they're off a little bit now. Kind of hard to get the thing. So then we can use the jack and move that and adjust it and get it in pretty easy. So let me start getting these bolts in on this side. All right, so the next one after I got the 2 on the sway bar bracket back there, so I'm gonna go for this big 24mm one right here. See how things are out of line, but the good thing is, I mean, this is actually kind of loose, but we're holding the weight with that. So the next easiest things you can do, use a screwdriver, something, and you'll see this pretty easily get up in the line, and we should be able to get it in. So not too hard at this point. Yeah, so one of the problems we figured out here already is this cooler here. The very top part of this is actually going to be over top of the main 24mm bolt there in the back. So it's going to be on top of the bolt after it goes in, which means the connection here to mount it back, I'm going to have to see if the bolts will actually reach the threaded part that's already in the frame, or whether I'm going to get longer bolts on both ends just to keep that in place, and make sure it's not going to be something where this is going to rub the top of the 24mm bolt that's part of the snowplow mount here. So we'll just have to check this out. All right, so the top 24mm up here, that's the one that you got to go in through the frame with a wrench from the front to hold on the inside. One of the problems is there's a curve in the frame right there, which kind of blocks your wrench from getting straight on that bolt there. So that kind of blocks it inside a little bit. You got to hold it against the other side inside of the frame rail. But then also this cooler was just in the way. I couldn't hardly get but about 2 clicks a turn. So I pulled a little, just really lightly done, but a wire strap here, pulling this cooler over just on this mount, just to hold it out of the way. And I got a couple more clicks a turn, so I'll take it. Well, things were going smooth until I said, you know what, let me go ahead and, before I tighten down everything all the way, let me check, make sure I've got the distance for the mount piece to go in between, just to make sure. And no, it didn't. However, I got 29 7/8 between the top, and I got way less than that at the bottom. So it's kind of like they're coming in. I have fought with loosened up things so there's a gap there so that things can shift around a little bit and get that. But man, it's just, I've used come along straps to pull out the bottom, hooking to it, all this, but ended up putting in my big block, a couple spacers, and then driving the ball joint fork on that side. So I finally actually got it in between the pieces. So from there, I can hammer it in, twist it, get it to the place, check the height. But then we'll have to go, I think, in a cycle, keep playing with the adjustment of how I'm tightening this thing up so I don't end up, you know, torqued a little bit there with it. But man, I fought this for a while. Absolute pain. So, you know, the best I can tell, this, even though this is supposed to go for the 2008 through 2016, that is just a little bit different. There's different spacing at the top. You can see the gap on that from it. So to me, it is a little bit different. Don't know what it is, but got some more work to do. But yeah, if you're having trouble in there, man, I wish I had a Porta Power here. I've got hydraulic tools, but getting that hooked up right now is going to take longer than just. Okay, so because of the plow mount and the 24 millimeter nut sticking out at the back, this won't go back flush. I think I mentioned that before, but what it is, I got it actually flush in. The bottom of this is an aluminum plate, so it's rested on that nut in the back and just kind of snug down lightly, and the two of them up there. But then here in the front, what it is, just pick the shim. I measured about what I wanted, which was 3/4 of an inch of a shim, and I just happened to find a big nut. So it actually works out better because that's got a bigger diameter to spread that out on the aluminum plate to the frame. Nuts back in, so it's actually shimmed out a little bit farther than normal, but it's solid, and I believe all the mounting stuff, you know, is good to go. I'm gonna brush up some stuff, paint a little bit, but then start getting the bumper back on. So now we're down to putting the bumper back on. I've already set it up on the tow hooks, resting it there, went underneath, put one of the bolts in just to kind of hold it in place to make sure it didn't follow me when I was under there. And looked where this was touching and marked on both sides of it, and I went ahead and made a wider mark where I'm going to cut out these to put some slots there for the hooks. Now once I get out to the plow, I know that this portion has that Y, or excuse me, that part has the Y that it's going to go in. You've got the other brace here, so we're going to have to see if I have to take anything else out, but I'm going to get the bumper on, and then I'll trim anything else out from there. So I'm gonna get on the jigsaw and cut these slots out.